All right, welcome everyone to another Mountain Man Monday. This is live stream episode number 53, and today is November the 30th, 2020. I hope everyone has had a nice start to their week and a nice Monday to get it rolling here. I want to welcome everyone who joins me live tonight. Feel free to say hello in the comments or just listen in the background, whatever you enjoy. Leave comments later on the video itself. And as always, all the live streams are archived under the live stream playlist on the Mr. Mountain Man YouTube channel. So it's the last day of the month. It's the 30th. We got one more month in 2020. I wonder what you think about this having one more month. I think most people think, hooray, right? It's been a crazy year for a whole slew of reasons, primarily, what's been going on with the pandemic. And so a lot of folks are looking to a brighter 2021. I kind of jokingly think that maybe we should set the bar kind of low for next year and hopefully be surprised and be pleasantly surprised if the year turns out much nicer than we anticipated. And also, I think the next month is going to be fantastic. I mean, it's the holiday season, a lot to celebrate. We just had Thanksgiving. Also wish and hope everybody had an excellent Thanksgiving in whatever shape or form that took place this past Thursday. I had a nice Thanksgiving myself, with the nucleus of the family here with the wife and kids, and we cooked a lot of food, and it was very nice. Some of you may have seen the video, the short video that I put out, which I just kind of did ad hoc. I didn't put a ton of planning, although it still snowballed into let me take this shot, that shot, do this food and that food. But anyway, it was pretty neat just to put something small out there. And again, I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. And then we will be rolling into, whether you celebrate Christmas or one of the other holidays here toward the end of the year. I hope everybody has an enjoyable time. So we've got some folks joining us this evening. Who do we have? Hey, look, we got first across the start line, Smoky Mountain Hiker. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man and everyone. Hello to you, Smoky Mountain Hiker, over there in probably what is partially snowy East Tennessee. We've got AZ Rock. Hey there, Mr. Mountain Man. I hope you and your family are well. We are, likewise to you. Glad to have you on the live stream tonight and hope things are going well. We got Faye. Faye is early tonight. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man and everyone. Hello to you as well. Faye, we've got cooler weather than what you've got down south there in Florida, so hope things are going well your way and maybe getting a break here soon from that hot weather. We got Yankee in the south. Hi, Mr. Mountain Man. Hello to you and your family there. I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving. By the way, I quickly pulled into the live stream today, and I saw the snowflakes. I thought that was fantastic. In fact, one of my kids also pulled up your live stream, gave it the old thumbs up. I was working. I didn't have time to chat. So I just looked for a couple of minutes and then I popped back out. But I saw the snow, which made me go think about what was happening. It looks like East Tennessee's getting a lot of snow. So I didn't get to see much of it. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Always nice to have you here with joining us this night. So I hope you're having a great holiday season. Everybody check out Yankee in the South. Most people know, but it's fantastic channel and amazing content from East Tennessee, Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge, and all of their travels that they go on in the road trips. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to check them out. Let's see. We got Ted and Deborah Harrison. Good evening, Mr. Mountain Man and everyone else in the chat. Hope all of your Thanksgiving was splendid, as all things considered. Yeah. I mean, really in 2020 right now, you kind of have to look at it with this perspective. There's kind of two big buckets, I mean, there are probably more buckets than that, but two metaphorical buckets. One is, it's been an inconvenient year. And then there's other ones that people have had legitimate strife, whether that's a job loss or health or, some other concern. But if you're just in the bucket of inconvenience, we can make it through. And to that end, a lot of us may have had inconvenient Thanksgivings where we didn't get to have as many people over as we had desired. And maybe those family gatherings weren't the same. But if you're healthy and things are going okay, it's good to have perspective on that and know that, all things considered, it may be, it's okay. It's just an annoyance. Smoky Mountain hiker giving a report, snowing a little, but not laying yet in Pigeon Forge. Yeah. One of the problems, and I grew up in the Midwest, where it would get cooler faster and longer. When that ground is still warm, it's really hard for anything to stick. And here in the mountains and the overall mountains, whether that's East Tennessee, Western North Carolina, it has been moderate temperatures. In fact, I was doing a lot of painting outside on some deck railing, the project I've been working on, like a lion's share of 2020, on some weekends that are warm. I was in a race to finish yesterday morning because I knew the impending weather was happening and painting is done. And so it had been a lot of 60 degrees, some 70s a few weeks back. So the ground is still very warm. So it doesn't surprise me if the snow doesn't stick. But look at me, I'm wearing a coat, like a little sweater coat. Normally you don't see me in that. It's chilly right here. I've got it 68.8. I mean, it's not what it's set at, but normally where I'm sitting, it can go anywhere from probably about this to up to sometimes about 10 degrees warmer than that if the sun's beating in sometimes. Living like Larry. Hello, Mr. Mountain and all. Hello to you, Larry. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I believe you said you were coming down this way. So I hope you had a great trip and are doing well. Faye said we have a small cold front coming through. It's pretty nice. Yeah. I remember when I lived in Florida, I mean, Christmas Day, if it was, if it got into the 40s at night, I was super pleased. I just didn't want to walk out my doorstep and feel like it was like, 70, 80 degrees. A lot of people like that. A lot of Floridians, especially native Floridians, could give a hoot less because their memories of being a child and growing up were of palm trees and sunny days and swimming pools and 80-degree weather. That was not mine. Mine was a little bit more like a Hallmark movie. Not quite that shiny and bright, but yeah, it was cold. I mean, I grew up in Ohio, Central Ohio. It was freezing cold. We had a snowy winter, snowy Christmases sometimes. And then I lived in North Carolina previous to this and for quite some time. So it was more mild, but it was still chilly. But then Florida kind of threw that out. And so if it would just get cold or you could see your breath, that was good enough for me. So I liked the change. I always struggled because there were a bunch of years where I put up Christmas lights last week in November, first week of December, just sweating like crazy up on a ladder, 82 degrees, sunny. And I'd just joke. I'm like, I'm putting up icicle lights and it's 80 degrees outside. Let's see here. Just people saying howdy, 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 howdy. Once I got behind watching videos, it's hard to catch up. I'm finding out on certain channels. Yeah. You were blurry. Now you're clear and sounding good as well. I don't know what the deal is with when we start these streams at the first few minutes, it's a little sluggish. And then it picks up. So who knows? YouTube might say, well, it's all stabilized. I mean, I literally go around announcing there's nothing that can use up any bandwidth, no on-demand TV, no cell phones, nothing like that for this period to get the optimal quality for you all. So hopefully it's coming through loud and clear. I just feel ashamed for the people that knock in early, see a slightly degraded live stream and cut out because they're just, at the physical quality of it. But we always have a good conversation around here. So, it's worth sticking around for. Hey, we got Loggy Doggy here. Hi, Mr. Mountain. Hello to you. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Thank you for the report. I always like I said, in the old CB radio days, Brick 19, can I get a radio check? Come on. And then we say with the YouTube, just can I get a video check? Can I get a video check? And you guys give me the video and audio check. I appreciate that. Let's see here. We had a nice weekend, really busy, but made it there to the top of Mount Mitchell. Not an easy short hike. That's awesome. Larry, I have not been doing much of any media entertainment personally. That means television. That means YouTube. This is my break right now. I've had a lot going on with work and stuff. So I'm not sure. Do you have a video? Did you do any videos up there? Or, I mean, not that you have to, I'm just curious or whatever, if you did, to see on your trip. We are supposed to get between 3 and 6 inches between now and Wednesday evening here in Northeast Ohio. That's right. And Larry is up in kind of North Central Ohio, Northeast. Ted and Deborah, where are you, like up near? Well, you don't have to say exactly, but like Ashtabula or Cleveland or something. I forget what you said up that way, or Akron or something like that. Crazy story a couple years ago. I always go to the Steelers game once a year with a buddy of mine that I grew up with. And this was like 3 years ago. We went to a early December game, and a freak snowstorm hit Atlanta. All right. Now, Atlanta doesn't really get a lot of snow, and it just canceled all the flights. Now, this is a compressed short weekend. Fly in Saturday, fly out Monday morning. There's not a lot of wiggle room. So when they started canceling flights, it was going to like ruin the whole weekend. At that time, I think I was still in Florida, so I couldn't drive, to Pittsburgh. That was too far. And so oh my goodness, that night I called Delta, and I had status at the time because I was flying for work. And I called the phone number, and there was a 3-hour wait. And this is not a joke, by the way. I got on the phone with one of the reps, and that late at night they were working from home, and the rep hung up accidentally on me. No callback number. I was pulling my hair out. It was very late, and I was like exhausted. I was still at home. And then I called back again, and I waited like another 2 hours and 45 minutes to get somebody. And the first thing I said, "You don't understand. I have been on hold." I'm not exaggerating, by the way, like 5 hours for these two combined phone calls. You need to take my phone number. And if anything happens, please, 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 please do not, hang up on me. So anyway, the long story long, I got different plane tickets, and I did get to fly through Atlanta, but everything into Pittsburgh was booked and all that. So I flew into Akron. And even though growing up in Central Ohio, I never really had any reason to go up in Akron. I went up to Akron, got picked up by my buddy, and then we drove over to Pittsburgh. It was kind of crazy. But, that was just Murphy's Law, because then Atlanta goes back to being 60 degrees in December, and there was no snow at all. It was just one of those freak things that happened, and that's how it happens in the South a lot. I was sweating putting up the lights this weekend. That's what Faye says down there in Florida. I do like it getting cooler around the holidays. It kind of gets you into the mood. The last several years we were there, probably the last half. Well, actually about the first half of us being in Florida, it was, as I always say, it was a real novelty to call up north and brag in January. Hey, it's 80 degrees. Ha, 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 ha. But then after living there for a while, I was kind of tired of cutting palm fronds and stuff like that in like January and March, and not get much of a break. So we started to seek out the colder weather, oftentimes driving all the way back to Ohio to spend time with family. And then, to my disappointment, a couple of years, we got tremendous snowstorms. Driving up to Ohio, got a bunch of snow. Boy, that's fit the bill. But one year we went, and Christmas Eve, it was like 67 degrees. That was a record. Ohio doesn't get like that. That was really crazy. And so, yeah, a little bit of a break is nice. How are we all? We are all well. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Larry says, I'm going to have lots to edit. Yes, with the videos. Ted and Deborah are closer to Canton. Okay. Which I drove by on the interstate there and saw the Football Hall of Fame, not going into it, but when I was driving through that part of town. Must be snow in my YouTube. Did not get a notification. Hello, Mr. Mountain. Hello to you, Foxy Wolf. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. It turns out the first few minutes were kind of grainy anyway, so whatever, neither here nor there as far as you made it just in time. Hopefully it's still clear. Let's see. Hey, Foxy, howdy. Oh, hey, Jennifer Rathbone. Hey, Mr. Mountain. Hello to you. I wonder, you're a little bit west of us here. I wonder if you're getting any of the snow. And I had checked the radar earlier. There was a lot in, and I'll be talking about that in the news and notes. Getting a bit of snow here, more concerned with the wind that is supposed to come later that's going to blow it, right? I mean, you get up north, especially north central Ohio, if you get that snow belt snow, that stuff's crazy. As I mentioned, my grandfather lived in Erie, Pennsylvania. So there's pictures of me growing up with snow that was taller than me. I mean, that is just some crazy snow when it comes off the lake and you get that multiple feet of snow. It's kind of awesome, actually. But I'm sure those people, I remember my grandfather used to count how many times he would use the snowblower in a winter. That's how he gauged the winter. Like this year, I only had to use a snowblower X amount of times. And I thought about buying a snowblower here. A few years ago, we got a huge snowstorm and we got like 18 inches of snow. It was right after I got back from a trip, and it was fantastic. I mean, we were able to sled in the yard and do all kinds of fun stuff. I kind of thought, oh, this is going to be like this a lot, but I kind of talked to a lot of people and they said that it's like a once in 10 year kind of thing. Lowe's puts their snowblowers on clearance at the end of usually February or March when they're going out of season. You can get them like half price. But I'm kind of glad I didn't buy it because I would not have used it yet. We just haven't had another really, really big snow there. They have closed most all the roads in the Smokies now, though. Little River Road from Sugarlands Visitor Center to Cades, and of course 441 has been closed since yesterday. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. And also to that end, Smoky Mountain Hiker and to others, the Blue Ridge Parkway, I've talked about it before. They just don't have any tolerance for like extra work. It's almost like, you know how the doctor's office hours of the world are like, no, maybe not a doctor's office, like an ophthalmologist, like an eye doctor or something like that. They are, we're open from 9 to 3 with a 2-hour lunch and closed on Wednesdays, like one of those really posh schedule like type things. The Blue Ridge Parkway is kind of like that too. It's like if the situation isn't perfect, we're not open for business. And now they have gates at different mile markers and they can close it off. They're not spending taxpayer money and a bunch of money on shoveling those roads and getting up to all those places because it's not a necessary thoroughfare, other than like maybe the places around like Little Switzerland near Spruce Pine and stuff like that. Howdy. Hey, David Cantel. Hello, Mr. Mountain and everyone. Hello to you. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. We got Rita here. Hello, Mr. Mountain and everyone. Having snow flurries here in Nashville all day. Nice and clear video. Thank you for the report. Also for the snow. Nashville is, my grandparents grew up near there, Old Hickory, Tennessee. And so, yeah, on my other side of the family, I have Tennessee roots. And, that's an area that can get some snow sometimes in the winter. Is that early for road closures, Smoky Mountain Hiker usual? I kind of maybe answered a little bit of that as far as the tolerance, although it's a little different. Let's see what he says. Not too early, AZ. They do it all the time during bad weather, even in the summer. Like if you have branches down the summer, they just close it off. Now 441, that one might be a little different because that does go between Gatlinburg and Cherokee, and it's a really roundabout way to get there. Otherwise, you got to go back out to like 40 and through Maggie Valley. Smoky Mountain Hiker, correct me if I'm wrong on that, please. You would know better than I do. I remember the blizzard of 78. You're probably too young for that. I am too young for that, but there were several blizzards that I did have growing up. I think 87. I did also deliver newspapers on the coldest day, recorded in Central Ohio history. It was negative 24 or 28. I have a certificate from the newspaper. All the delivery carriers got it. I was a newspaper carrier back in the old-fashioned days where kids were still doing it and not driving around in cars. I had a paper route. If I told you this story before, I digress, but it was so cold where I lived and the wind blowing, speaking of wind, that I would wear these ski masks that had like a cutout just around the eye, like one of the big oval. And I'd be walking and throwing papers and stuff. And the side of the ski mask would kind of rub against the side of my eye. Well, naturally, if you have anything that rubs you right here, it's going to make your eye a little irritated. And water, well, that water would get on my eyelashes and freeze the droplets on the eyelashes. So I'd have to take my glove off. I'm not joking. Take my fingers, pluck the ice off the eyelashes, and then put the glove back on and put the thing back on. And we didn't have all that fancy winter clothes like they do now. Like these, it was just different. It wasn't like, I don't know, I guess technology and clothing has gotten better, or maybe it just wasn't seeking it out and spending all the money. Like you go to Sam's Club now and they have like insulated flannel pants at the front for like $15. I grew up where you had underwear and sweatpants. That was it. And that's like that then. So when the wind was blowing, man, that wind hitting your thighs and your legs, it was so cold. You had a big heavy coat, gloves, and a ski jacket. It was just cold. You just got used to it after a while, but it was freezing cold. So, but that day was like negative 24, 27, something like that. And that year was really cold. And then with wind chill, it was like negative 40. That was the actual temperature, the negative 20 something. So yeah, that was nuts. Foxy Wolf says, welcome to the Mountain Man Monday live stream. Be sure to smash the like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and join us all here on Mondays to have great chats and friendship. Yep, I like it. That's a very nice words of you. Thank you, Foxy Wolf. I appreciate that. Honestly, I really hope you all do enjoy the conversation and some of this, and hopefully, again, if we even have a little spell with the video here, you get the audio nice and clear. Scrolling through, everybody's polite to each other. Howdy, howdy, howdy. That's what I do when I'm scrolling through. I always tell people, howdy, howdy, howdy. Mr. Mountain Man, my wife thinks it might be your lighting that's causing the fuzziness. Doesn't know for sure. Just saying, yeah. So there might be a slight fuzziness to it, that it's not like crystal clear 4K or something, but there is legitimate noise and graininess to the live stream at times. Probably caused by bandwidth issues, just because I don't have the Supremo internet here in the mountains. It's the price to pay to be in the mountains, which is fine. But it does seem to clear up. I had mentioned I do try to go back into live streams and pin a comment when it's like the first few minutes and say, don't worry, folks, 5-minute mark, it's going to look crystal clear, hope you enjoy. Let's see. Looks like we got there just in time to get in the mountains. Yeah, Smoky Height and Higher. Yep. We got Lily. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man. Beautiful warm temps here. No snow. What do you guys have up your way? Is it, I always forget, Newfoundland or Nova Scotia or Brunswick? Lily, remind me again. I apologize. Pretty good, Foxy. Still need to get my license, though, being the great procrastinator. Oh, for the move. And I hope that's going well. Too cold to carry the papers. I know. It was a great job. I did it when I was 13 years old, all the way through graduating high school. It was a great job. The only problem I had was the first part of the paper route, or first few years, I had too big of a paper route. I had trouble waking up. I've never really been known to ever get in trouble with any of my jobs or anything growing up. I always, work hard and follow the rules. But when I was a kid, I did struggle waking up because you had to wake up early, and I had a really large paper route. I mean, there was none of this stuff like the movies where you ride your bicycle. I mean, it was the Columbus Dispatch, and this was in the heyday of newspapers. They were heavy. Even some of the weekday papers were thick. Like Thursdays started to get some ads for the weekend. Sundays were a monster. I wasn't old enough to drive yet. I did later years. I was able to drive for the Sunday, but Sunday papers, my sister and I, we pulled a wagon through the streets, like one of those red wagons with the Sunday papers, and would have to go reload it. During the week, the bag was so heavy, I would crawl under it on the floor and stand up. Maybe that was the origins of my bodybuilding days. That's what I joke about. And you walk. And our paper delivery was to the door. You could not put it at the foot of the driveway. You could not put it in a mailbox. You had to walk up. And then I would get in trouble if I would throw it and it would like bang the storm door, because then it would wake somebody up. I'd also get in trouble if I wasn't there by 6:30 because somebody wanted their paper and their coffee and they'd be calling my manager. My manager would knock on the door and wake me up because I'd be late. I mean, talk about waking up in a panic, like on a Sunday when the papers are supposed to be delivered by 7. It was 6:30 weekdays, 7 on Sunday. And there were a couple times I think I woke up at like 7:05 on a Sunday. Mind you, the paper route took like 2 hours. I was freaking out. But my weekend manager, she was a lot nicer than my weekday manager. So she never had the heart to really get mad at me. She's like, "Do you want some help?" And I'm like, "I am so sorry." And so they cut my route in half, and then I continued on. I really enjoyed. I have good memories of it. I kind of wish other kids, young kids, and growing into young adults could get a paper route, but now everything, well, there's a lot of problems. One is the paper is almost non-existent. Everything is digital now. So they've consolidated routes. It's mostly adults. Neighborhoods aren't built the way they used to be, so things are more spread out. Some of them are delivered at the foot of the driveway. I mean, I was still doing it when you were collecting. I had a collecting book. I had to go door to door. The internet really wasn't the thing yet. You had to collect the money. Some people did auto pay into the office, but reminiscing about the olden days. How was Thanksgiving, Mr. Mountain? What'd you do? Very traditional around here. Woke up, watched a Macy's Day Parade with the kids, cooked some cinnamon rolls, and then we made a 25-pound turkey. I did post a video on the channel, a very short video of some of the food we made. It was not all of it, but it was some of it. And ate. I mean, we didn't really do anything other than just stay at home. And we have some new flooring being put in. So the house is kind of upside down, and that project was running through Thanksgiving, unfortunately. So it was a bit of a chaotic weekend as far as housework and stuff. Let's see. I think they keep Asheville section closed, but not sure. They open the roads as soon as they can get them cleared. They're pretty good at clearing them here. Yeah, the Asheville section has to remain open of the Blue Ridge Parkway because that section between 74 and 191 is a thoroughfare that is used by locals. So that, I don't believe, almost never closes. There's the Hendersonville Road exit, there's the 74 exit, and there's the 191 exit. So you've kind of got East Asheville, Middle Asheville, and East Asheville, Middle Asheville, and kind of West Asheville. Let's see there. Hey, with your parents and sister during that paper delivery. Well, so this is, oh, howdy, mom and dad. My sister was a big help. My mom and dad, now you gotta admit, you guys did the paper out of the cold day and a few times, but the most part, this was on my shoulders, figuratively and literally, to do that route. It was my responsibility. So my parents weren't bailing me out. I mean, on the coldest day in Central Iowa history, I do remember my dad loading up the car, and we did it that day together. So that was a neat novelty. But yeah, I mean, that literally was rain, snow, or shine. My sister always did Sunday papers with me. She always helped me. I think until I was able to drive. Once I was able to drive, it was a little different because then I could load up the back of my trunk and I was able to do it much more efficiently by myself. But prior to being 13 to 16, I definitely need my sister's help. And it was a great experience. Hey, we've got Saxy Matt here. Hey, Mr. Mountain. I haven't seen you in a while, Matt, although I have seen you popped in over a couple times on your channel when you've been playing music, and wanted to see what was happening in your neck of the woods. I hope you're doing well and having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Let's see. I'm a little behind, and it's jumpy on me. Small world. I grew up in Old Hickory. I live about 5 minutes from there now. I know. Isn't that crazy? My grandparents had moved around a lot because my grandfather worked for DuPont. And so they lived in Tennessee and Buffalo and Florence and Circleville, kind of all over. Yeah, they, I remember, I think I had told you before, Rita, that I think I did, but that my grandmother had been to. I think Andrew Jackson's house is up that way. And when she was growing up, it was just like somebody's house, but now it's like a historical landmark and you can't get in there without, or officially get in there as a museum tour type thing. But it was just somewhere they played around growing up. That's pretty cool. We got friends in Florida's temperature say 72 with the wind chill is 71, right? It would even be better. It's 72 with a wind chill of 73 and salt in the air. I enjoy talking to everyone. Likewise, Foxy Wolf. Video is clear here. Thank you for the check. I appreciate that. The views driving to Mount Mitchell and down were absolutely stunning. Can't say my wife liked them. She gets kind of freaked out over bridges and mountains. Yeah. Well, I have a few videos, the motorcycle one going up there and a few Mount Mitchell videos. So it's really nice. But yeah, like it's weird because it's not like, it's weird on how people feel about heights. Like if you don't like unstable heights where you're like on a skinny bridge or something or a building leaning over, but if you're on something like a wide road, with and stuff like that, not on the side of a cliff or something, I'm wondering if that might make it a little easier for folks. We have flurries here in Clyde right now. Yeah. Which is west of Asheville, as we've talked about, which is also west of Candler. So that's good. You guys are only a stone's throw from Maggie Valley. So you guys are right there. That's a good spot right there because you can just jump on, 74, right? And then head over and get on over to Maggie Valley if you ever wanted to, or Cherokee, and also be over here in Asheville or Gatlinburg. Yeah, it's kind of a nice spot right there. Audio and video are good. Thank you. They used to wait until a storm starts before closing roads, but after a few accidents occur, I think they play it safe and just close the road now. Anytime there's bad weather is predicted. Right. I mean, I just don't think they want to mess with it at all. I'm in St. John's, Newfoundland, most easterly point in North America. We're just having unusually warm fall. I wonder if you guys will be getting any cooler weather soon. I mean, you would think as far north as you are. And I remember you had some videos that were just beautiful on your channel of where you are. That's really cool. If their winds are blowing in the wrong direction, they will close the mountain road unless things have changed. Right. And is that because they're worried about like crosswinds, like blowing a car over, or just the danger? That's crazy. It can't be that. I mean, you'd have to like a semi or something. Nobody's on a large tractor trailer. I don't know. Yeah. If to inform me, maybe it's just the danger of people getting out of their cars or something like that. Yeah. If they're predicting bad weather. My parents and I are now looking into Florida to move. Yeah, hey, there you go, Sexy Matt. Well, we got a few Floridians here, and an ex kind of Floridian. Lived there over 10 years. Lots to do down there. As long as you don't mind, the warm weather all the time, there's plenty to do. I mean, the theme park capital of the world, and if you like doing stuff outdoors in the water, whether that's in the interior in a boat or out in the beaches, and there's a lot of entertainment and natural places and parks to go and historical places. There's a lot to do in Florida. So the Bears are soon to be hibernating. I forgot to tell you all, and I tried to take a picture. There was a huge black bear in our backyard, like a week and a half ago. Super cool. Big guy. Because we've seen smaller ones before, but this one was big. I hit the thumbs up. Sorry, I forgot it first of all. I appreciate that. That's very nice. Thank you, David. That's very nice of you. I hope you're enjoying. Do the Bears hibernate there? They do here. They hibernate. So I assume they'll be hibernating soon. You can still see them out at times. They do not full hibernation in the Smoky Mountains. Okay, Foxy probably knows better than I do. I thought that I was told they did hibernate, but maybe that's really outside my area of expertise. I should read up on it though. There's like 1,000 books on that kind of stuff. You love to grill. I do love to grill, and I don't let the inclement weather try to get in the way. I've been a little busy recently, but I try to grill on the weekends, and it is nice. Did you get all the flooring get done yet? It is, yes, basically. There's a touch-up area that we had some tile installed that was a little crooked, so they're going to pop a couple of them out. There's some trim work being finished up. And it's just been crazy because I had wanted it all to get done before Thanksgiving, and it didn't. And so it was a little bit disruptive. But again, it's kind of hard to complain about stuff like that. It's just, when you got a lot of kids and the, things are going on, and, we've got a young one, and it's just, it's hectic and overwhelming, but I can't complain. I know there's a lot other situations, but hectic, if I could use that word appropriately. It is hectic. I didn't know that, Foxy. I bet there's a lot to learn on it. Yeah, as likewise, that's what I was thinking too. I thought all bears hibernate. Grizzlies hibernate, black bears sleep off and on and do not ease much, but still wander about. Oh, the video's getting bad. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it's okay. All clear. You love your grilling, I can tell. Yeah, it's just nice to kind of mix it up from cooking in the kitchen to cooking outside, and that taste from the grill. It's very nice. If I had my druthers, it'd be a porterhouse or something like that. But oftentimes it's something a little quicker, like burgers, sausages, hot dogs, chicken. But I did do ribs talked about the ribs, did them over the summer. Those were really good. Clear on our end, audio is good. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man. Hello, Brian Fisher. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. It's actually going to be like Chris about t-shirts and wear shorts and short sleeves year round. Yeah, you can. I mean, like Faye was talking about, you do get it. It just depends what part of Florida. Northern Florida and the Panhandle, you do get, or what do they call it? Flabama, like Florida, Alabama, because the Panhandle over west, they really consider them more Alabamian than Floridian. But anyway, that northern part, especially when you get up by Jacksonville, you almost get like that southern Georgia type weather. But then you get to central Florida, it gets a notch cooler. And then you get to southern Florida and it's tropical. You think you're in the Caribbean. Anyone ever experienced ghost town in the Sky Mag Valley? Mom, we've talked about it here a lot and we've reminisced on it. One of the early live streams I did, I had some news on it. I talked about that red roller coaster that was there. I found on YouTube, somebody had an old VHS converted to digital of somebody who took like a camcorder, because I think this is the 80s or 90s, and, held it and did a ride along in that roller coaster. The history of it is pretty interesting. It would make for a good book if there isn't one already for some historian. Maybe there is. The long and the short of it is, at least my theory on it is, in 2020, it would be very, very, very challenging to have a theme park there and be profitable because of the proximity and what has happened in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which is only about an hour and 20 minutes from there, because there is such an entertainment mecca there. It would dwarf in size compared to the bigger entertainment that's around. It'd be like being like an hour outside of Myrtle Beach and trying to do the same thing there. It's just a challenge. And, I think 50 years ago, and when Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge weren't what they were, 30, 40 years ago, maybe, the more regional based entertainment would have worked. I think what Maggie Valley needs to hang its hat on is being quaint, the motorcycle rallies, and skiing. I think Catalucci's up that way. It's a beautiful area, and local culture is really nice as well. It's for falling trees, Mr. Mountain Man. I've had a few sadly killed by falling trees in the past. Oh, from the wind. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense too. Because the old trees, just something falling over, maybe a hiker or something like that, you would not, or in a car even. I mean, the mountains can be a rough place. I mean, it's only been, we're coming up, or we are on a few days past. Is it the 4-year anniversary of the fires in Gatlinburg, speaking of wind? And that was a disaster over there. That was, nationally televised, and just a big, big mess. We had been there that summer, and the cabin we stayed at burned down. It wasn't ours. It was just a rental up there in is a chalet village, and a beautiful cabin that looked right over at Mount LeConte. Gorgeous, gorgeous A-frame. And it was really sad. We used to drive up there and we'd see the empty lot. The lot sat vacant for a bunch of years, and there was a for sale sign not that long ago. And I'm like, man, would I like to buy that lot? But I can't afford that. I don't have another house. I'm just thinking the land and stuff, but it had already sold. And I think the lot is not very favorable. It's not because of the view. It was literally the side of a mountain. And I think it was pricey. It was way more, I think that lot went for 150 or something, just the land. But here's the thing. Here's what I heard after the fires, and all you folks from over in that area can confirm or deny. But what I had heard was that a lot of the houses that were there, maybe including the A-frame cabin that I was in, were built when that's building code wasn't as restrictive as it is today. So many of the homes, even though they were insurance paid out, could not be built identically to how they were built previously, because how they were built previously was not up to code. It doesn't mean they couldn't build. It just means that the foundation and how far, it's supported into the ground, and, the structure and such may have not been able to be exactly the same. So, there may have been people who were traumatized and just wanted to get out of the area. Some weren't able to build back the exact way they wanted, so they just took the money and sold the lot. Some did rebuild. The only thing else I don't like about the rebuild, this is not specific to Gatlinburg, but living in the mountains in general, is that the diversity of creativity in the housing architecture is getting a little diluted. I don't want to say it's cookie cutter, but there's kind of this modern craftsman, modern cabin look. I'm not talking about log cabin. I'm talking about, if I had a picture I could show you, that's getting repeated too much. There used to be this eclectic nature of different house designs because they were built by different builders over different years. And now they're starting to feel all kind of like cousins of the same style. And it's beautiful and modern. And I'm sure if any one of you looked at a house or a cabin like this, you'd say, oh my gosh, it'd be a dream to have something like that. But I just think that the creativity has kind of been diluted a little bit. Maybe that's because custom architecture and custom design is so expensive. It's easier for builders to have a blueprint of, say, half a dozen or a dozen houses and say, pick from one of these. And so you see a lot of the same style of architecture and design pop up. But it's kind of a shame, I'd like to see some of these funky A-frames and, mid-century modern types and the cabins and kind of all the different styles instead of it all being the same. I drove up Wiley Oakley Road, which is where that cabin was. And a lot of the houses that are being rebuilt, albeit beautiful, just don't have that same, I don't know, they just don't have that same kind of feel that they used to. Sexy Matt says around Ocala is where where Sexy Matt's thinking of moving. That's Central Florida. Yes, it was cool about the bear. Foxy Wolf went to Ghost Town in the Sky. That's really cool. No bears here. I think, Brian, aren't you out in California? I always forget. Do the bears ever walk upright around the house? They do sometimes. Not. We haven't had that experience. I don't know what the difference is, but when we have stayed in vacation over in Gatlinburg, they are all over the place, probably because there's so many clustered cabins and people don't follow the rules and they feed the bears. And so they come around a lot more. But it's not like we're near a non-mountainous area. So there's bears. It's just, that I don't believe a lot of people are feeding them and stuff like that. So they're a little more sparse around here. I'm pretty sure we'll be having some colder weather and lots of snow. It's just that the longer we go without it, the later in spring it'll hang around. Oh yeah. I kind of noticed that the last several years that it's been taking a while for winter starts later and spring starts later. Speaking of Bears, good Packer game yesterday. I did not watch any football because the Buckeyes didn't play and the Steelers game was postponed because of COVID till tomorrow night. And I was so busy with doing stuff around the house that I Just didn't have time to watch any football. But that's good to know. I don't even know who won, to be honest with you. I'm assuming the Packers. Check your YouTube settings. Yeah. So again, Brian, you may not have heard, like, it's just some of the bandwidth in the mountains here. It's just not terrific. So I'm fighting the odds a little bit on a crystal clear at times. Been to Ghost Town the Sky. I actually have old videos on it. Now that's something, Smoky Mountain Hiker, if you can do the same and convert them to digital, that would be really cool. If you could put them on your channel, that'd be something else to see. Getting ready for Dad's funeral in 1 week. Again, really sorry to hear about that. The other week you had said he had passed. And so thoughts and prayers for you. Yes, absolutely. And, hope you can get through this time, especially around the holidays, and hope you're on the up and up. I'm unsure why my channel name comes up in red. It always happens in other chats as well. Red. You mean like your name in the chat is red? I'm not sure on that one. How's the Carolinas? Red. I'll have to think about that. Maybe, do you have like YouTube Red or something? I don't know. I've not seen red before. Blue, but not red. Carolinas are nice, beautiful right now. Like I said, it's getting cold. I'm going to get to the news here in a couple of minutes, and we'll talk about that, this snowstorm. But it's nice right now. Of course, the Carolinas, you've got everything from the ocean to, the middle part of the state to the mountains. Then South Carolina, if you talk about the Carolinas, both North and South Carolina, lots to see and do. Problem getting a job because of my stuff I have gone through. Again, it sound 2020 has just been, really rough. And again, those really hoping for you there, Brian, that things again start to get on a upward trajectory, and maybe you're able to make it through this tough time there for you. Yeah, things will turn and start looking up for you. Exactly. Went there annually from 61 on, stayed at the Holiday Motel nearby. That's pretty cool. Mom, it'd be awesome if you had like pictures or something like that. Smoky Mountain Hiker says, agree with the design. So you do. I didn't know if anybody would understand what I was talking about with the houses over there in Gatlinburg that are being rebuilt from the fires. And by the way, it's not just that. Like, I even see it here in Asheville with the new builds. It's just like our house is, was built in the 80s, but it's got a more unique design. But it's just, I don't know if the architects and such, again, it's not my, area of expertise, but, again, I know in subdivisions, they squeeze every ounce out. You can reach your arm out and touch the house next to yours. And so it's, there's a profit factor to that, to buy a piece of land for a developer and squeeze in as many houses, make as much money. And then the homeowners get the short end of it because they're living on top of each other. And there's, very little varied design. I just think for all the money that people are paying for some of those houses up in Gatlinburg, it'd be pretty cool if, I don't know if the creativity was lost to do something bold. I'm not talking about crazy, like a pink and purple house, with, I don't know, like inverted roof or something, but just something more unique. Yeah, you're out in California. Yep. Send positive wave vibes for Brian. Starting to get more bears around Ohio now, not like the mountains, but a few. Hey, speaking for our Florida folks, everybody, when they think Florida, and you've heard me say this before, only thinks about hurricanes, but Florida is a zoo of all things, nature and animals. You get hurricanes, bad forest fires, like really bad ones down there. Tornadoes. One happened on Christmas Day when I was down there. You can get ice in the northern part. Bears, poisonous snake, poisonous spiders, alligators, lightning strikes, like, golfing or mowing your grass or being outside at the wrong place, wrong time. Yeah, you're dodging bullets in Florida for sure. It's a crazy state. Yeah, quick, check Mr. Mountainman's Tempe. He didn't watch any football. He must be sick. I know. It was just, this flooring project too has not been hands off. Like there's been some miscommunication about some things that happened. I had to I had to run a gas line for the dryer from that room over there, which I made a video for the Eclectic Handyman. I'll be posting that. And there was some light electrical that, I wanted to do before the cabinets got reinstalled, and just some odds and ends. And, the microwave broke a few weeks ago, and the painting that needed to finish up before it gets freezing temperatures. So just crazy. It's just been really busy. What videos I have on my channel, Mr. Mountain Man, pictures in an old video, are on my. Oh, you do have one, Mr. or Smoky Mountain Smoky Mountain Hiker. If you have something of Ghost Town in the Sky, feel free to post the link to that video here. That would be pretty cool if I interpreted that correctly. My name used to come up in a rectangle of red or bright orange and never knew why. Well, maybe that means like you're about to be banned from YouTube. No, I don't know. Just got to get going. Have a good night, Mr. Mountain Man. Chat you as well, Sexy Matt. Yeah. Let me get caught up here. Oh, mine does that, LMR. If someone types it all in, I think that lets you know somebody's talking to you. Ah, that's what it is. The reason I didn't think of that first is because it's orange on mine. It's orange on mobile and orange on the web. If it's orange, that's because they at your name, like at LMR Collins 1966. Hello, how are you doing? That's when it shows up in red. That is an indicator that somebody is chatting directly to you. And it's a great indicator, especially if you're on a larger live stream and you're communicating with somebody in the chat. Speaking of which, we got Chris About T-shirts here. Good evening, all. Good evening to you, Chris, and Mindy, if she's within earshot. I hope you are doing fantastically over there in East Tennessee. I wonder if you're getting any snow. I think you are, because when I looked at the map, pretty much all of East Tennessee was in the color light blue. And just hope you guys are doing really, really well. And I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I did see your video, and give it the old thumbs up. Let's see here. Let me get caught up. Not good for the Buckeyes if they have to cancel another game. Won't be eligible for the championship game. I know this year. Yeah, I just, you know what? The Steelers are undefeated. The Buckeyes are undefeated. I'm holding my breath. It's just crazy what's going on. Figures that this would be the year that, we're undefeated and things are going nuts. I heard Ohio would have to play 2 games in a week to be eligible. I need to read up on that because, again, I just cringe because I'm just like expecting bad news. Like, Buckeyes can't make it, or, I don't know. We got snow. It's just barely a dusting. Hope your Thanksgiving was great with your family. It was. I was talking about that a little bit earlier. We enjoyed that day. We cook such a big turkey. I always tell when my wife goes to the grocery with the kids, I say, find the heaviest turkey they sell and buy it, for 2 reasons. One, turkeys go on sale at the grocery. They're usually like $2 a pound. So they're really reasonable, or maybe even less sometimes if you're getting closer to Thanksgiving. And we love leftovers. So we cook a big old turkey. I think it was like close to 25 pounds. And, we like the leftovers and eat it for several days and have sandwiches and extras. So we like to cook a lot of extra. They're good as long as they play the next 2 games. And here we go, Miss Mama. Not very good quality because it was my first camera that saved on compact disc. Everybody copy that one out and take it to, watch later. That YouTube video there from Smoky Mountain Hiker of Ghost Town in the Sky. It's really cool to have original content. I told you guys in past, if you've been following me for a while, I get into like little binge watching. Well, binge isn't the right word because that's not what I'm doing. I get into themed watching because I don't always have time to watch TV and stuff. Themed watching of different documentary genres and stuff like that. And once upon a time, for a few days, it was Ghost Town in the Sky, digging up everything, reading articles. There's a really interesting saga that took place within the last 10 years of a older lady who owned the park, and then a businessman from Florida coming up here and kind of taking advantage of her, telling her all this pie in the sky stuff about how they were going to resurrect the park, ended up living in her basement. Like, this is a crazy story. Again, they should write a book on this. Chris was just kidding, Sexy. He was going to be like you, wearing shorts and short sleeves when he moves to Florida. It's hot down there for sure. It is. So, hey, with that, let me, before it gets too long in the tooth, let me get over here. Once again, here is my Twitter and Instagram at Mr. Mountain_man. You can always stay in tune with me in between videos. And also, if you're into any kind of enjoy tools and handyman type stuff, my Eclectic Handyman, that's the Eclectic Handyman on YouTube. That channel is actually starting to have a little bit of growth, percentage-wise, comparatively speaking. Found a little niche with the craftsman tools that people enjoy. And I've got several videos that I just haven't gotten out for that because there's so much going on. And I try to always make something over there. All right, so let's go to housekeeping for the week of November the 30th, 2020. This one, there is just not a lot going on because I terribly didn't post that many pictures last week. The only pictures I posted in this past week were last week's thumbnail was hilarious. It looked like I was, like I said, it looks like I was letting out a fart or something. That was hilarious. I was saying, Foxy Wolf, I don't have cable TV. And it caught me like that. I don't know what it thought. I thought that was hilarious. And there was Thanksgiving. I put a little video together. It's on the YouTube channel here if you want to check it out. Turkey was good. The pie was bought. I normally cook the pumpkin pie with the ingredients, make 2 of them in the shell that do I use a graham cracker one? Anyway, it's really good. This year I decided not to do that because things are kind of upside down. Those were 2 casseroles over there. We had sweet potato casserole, and that other one was kind of like a cheesy potato casserole. My uncle liked it, Uncle Rick. We call it Rick's potatoes, but it's got like cheese and sour cream and potatoes and butter and just a bunch of junk in it. It just tastes really rich. It's really nice. Anyway, check out that small video. And guys, dust is going to settle in a couple of weeks. Things have been really, really busy. The Tail of the Dragon motorcycle video is super, super awesome. I like it at least. But I have not gotten it finished. I know it's been on almost a month now, but it has been really busy. Just the life of, job and family and everything else. So get to that one as soon as you can. And so that's cool. That is the housekeeping for the week of November the 30th, 2020. Let's jump over to the news and notes of the week for, once again, November the 30th, 2020. Let me pull mine up. Don't forget, last week I went over a slew of places here in Western North Carolina where you can go see Christmas lights. Most of them free. Some of them have a small paid entrance for, per vehicle and stuff like that. And so if you missed the live stream last week and you just want to hear that part, you can always jump forward on it and check it out. And you'll be able to see all about what's happening here in Western North Carolina. So let me go ahead and get this running over here. Let's share let me go ahead and close this. And we got a Chrome tab going on here. We're going to share this guy and present. And we'll take this off. And bingo. Oh, by the way, let me just make sure. Alternative, Mr. Mountain YouTube for tools is how-tos is the Eclectic Handyman. That's right. I do not see that you were putting on approximate time for your live stream on Twitter anymore. Did you stop or I'm not seeing the notification? AZ Rock, I was thinking about you tonight specifically on this. I stopped doing it the last 2 weeks because I didn't think anybody was paying attention to it. So it was a little bit of a litmus test to see if anybody was paying attention. You're paying attention. I will post when I'm going to do the Mr. Mountain Man Monday live stream. Thank you for bringing that up. That's really cool. I'm glad that you're doing that. Please remember to hit the thumbs up, everyone. I appreciate that. Now the video is lagging from the voice. Video and audio is good here. Are you decorated up? We'll be decorating soon. Again, it was a little busy and hectic around the house. Hopefully to have that happen in like the week. Good night, Mr. Mountain Man. Folks and friends, got to get up 3:30 a.m. Be safe and blessed. Thanks, mods. Thank you, Loggy Doggy. Hope you have a wonderful week. Yes, let's head over to the news notes. What do we got up first? Let's talk about it. Winter storm warning. Honestly, everybody kept talking about snow, and I've been so busy. I had my head in the sand working, didn't see it, went over, looked, and check out that map that was from this evening. If you can see right there, all that light blue over there, Knoxville, Jefferson City, or over here, Gatlinburg would be down this way. Whether that's heavy snow or light snow. Winter storm warning for our Tennessee state line counties until noon Tuesday. 3 to 8 inches or more are possible. Love some snow. Let's see from the what happened here? All right, here we go. Winter storm warning from 7 a.m. Monday until noon on Tuesday for Avery, Graham, Haywood, Madison, Mitchell, Swain, and Yancey counties. 4 to 8 plus inches of snow possible in these areas above 3,500 feet. Lighter snow in lower elevations. 1 to 3 inches of snow in the lower elevations below 3,500 feet. Monday's high temperature will be reached early morning. Rain mixes later today. And Asheville has a chance of some of the snow sticking mainly on grassy surfaces. A trace to an inch will be possible for most valley locations. Meanwhile, high elevations near the Tennessee state line could see as much as 4 to 8 inches of snow with some isolated higher totals on the highest peaks. The other part of the story will be the cold with the lows in the 20s on Tuesday morning, along with a brisk northwest wind. Wind chill values will be in the teens for the mountains on Tuesday morning. Beyond Tuesday, we dry out for a couple of days. Our temperatures will be turning seasonal on Thursday. The next system returns on Friday. So here in Western North Carolina, one of the cool things, when we were kids and you draw these pictures and you'd have the mountains and they'd look like this, like little peaks. And then you make the little one on the top to represent the snow peaks. That's what it looks like around here. Like you get the high elevations and they have those beautiful snowy peaks at the top out in the distance. So even if you don't have snow where you are, if you are driving around or you see a mountain view, you usually see snow out in the distance on top of the mountains, whether that's Mount Pisgah. You can't really see Mitchell from here or some of the other mountains around here. You can see that snow. So it still has that feeling. And also if it's really cold. This is unusually cold for this time. We are still in the fall. This is like January temps right now. The ones, if they get into the 20s and the teens, the teens is about as cold as I see it normally get here at a, 2,000-3,000 foot elevation. You start going up to 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. Of course, you're going to knock off. I often look at the high peak elevation, and those guys will get down to 8 degrees, 0 degrees, and get snow when we're not getting anything. So pretty cool there on the winter storm warning. You ever watch the news and they play that like thunderous music, like winter storm 2020. Like tonight, winter storm warning, That one made me cough. Go out. Just like they do any other important thing. Go out and buy all the stuff at the grocery. I remember when I lived down south and people like buy all the bread and water and everything from the store because I don't know what they thought they'd be at home for like 6 weeks and weren't going to be able to get out the illogical, irrational habits of the human nature. Case in point, 2020 with toilet paper. But yeah, so let's see. I am checking that, and thank you for restarting that. I appreciate it. About the time. You betcha. No snow. It's a little cold. That's it. Yep. Over there in California. Everybody's be safe in the storm's path. Yeah, I think for the most part, AZ Rock, like, a lot of this is relegated to the higher elevations where there's not a lot of major thoroughfares. I mean, you got to make it up there because it's a point to make it up there. If you talk about cities like Asheville's at about 2,200 feet. Gatlinburg is at like 1,000. Pigeon Forge is even lower than that. I think like 800 or something like that. That's what's neat about Gatlinburg. If you've ever been out west to like Denver, Colorado, you can go in Denver and it's like 60 degrees. And then you go up into the Rockies out in the distance and it'll be, 15 and snowing. Not quite that extreme, but if you're in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge and then you go up into the mountains up, maybe not all the way to Clingman Snow or up, you'll lose 10 degrees or more. So that's one of the things everybody always asks, if they're snow hunting, whether you're in Western North Carolina or East Tennessee, if the roads aren't closed and you can get up to those areas, you can go chase after the snow in the wintertime. Had a tornado near me around 3 a.m., but no winter weather here. Yeah, and that's the other thing about this time of the year. You're getting that cold weather mixing with that hot weather as the seasons change, and they can produce those tornadoes. A couple of weeks ago, we had one here also. I thought that was weird for Wisconsin in November. Yeah. Don't forget to buy the milk, even if you do not drink it. Right. I always thought it was weird with the pandemic. I think I said it before. Like, if you wanted to buy something and be slightly rational, like if you just think about it, like, okay, even if you're like non-scientific, like, oh, it's like a cold or a flu, maybe I'll buy some extra Campbell's soup or like vitamin C or orange juice, or I don't know, like, just along those lines, or maybe some thermometers, but toilet paper. I mean, does it, as far as I know, it doesn't, it's not heavily causing diarrhea or the runs. It might be a symptom of it, but I don't believe that was the rationale behind buying toilet paper. I'll tell you what caused that was social media. It's ballooned out of control back in March when people just started stocking up on the goods for home. And it got out that the paper products, in certain states, nobody could find them. Well, that's all you need for Facebook, Twitter, and a couple other outlets to start saying that. And people don't even think, well, what do you mean? I better go buy toilet paper because I just heard in, New Mexico, they ran out of toilet paper at Costco. So I guess I should go get toilet paper. And then you run out and get toilet paper and you don't even know why. You're like, well, I just bought 300 rolls of toilet paper. I don't know, what I'm going to do with all that toilet paper. But what really stunk is for those of us that didn't hoard. Like, I remember one time I went to Walmart and there was no, they didn't have the time to logically process the toilet paper situation. So you could buy the 4-pack for $1 or the 32-pack for, $22, and it was considered one item of toilet paper. Well, I made the mistake of buying like 4 of the cheapos, which I normally buy anyway, the 99-cent ones. And the lady's like, well, you got to put 3 of those back. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I could have bought the mega pack. And she's like, but I couldn't hold up the line because I had a ton of groceries. So I went home with like a 99-cent 4-pack. And then, for our family, that doesn't work that well. Yeah, because of the water table here, you do not find basements, only fully inner closets. Yeah, a lot of that in the South, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, no such thing as a basement because the water table, you can't dig down, you get water in the basement. And so the only type of basement you have is like when you have a hill and you can build into the side. I don't think we're going to get much here in Pigeon Forge. You have to hike to chase it. That's right. It's snow chasers. That's what we should call it. It's supposed to be back here in the 50s on Wednesday. Adriana says, good night, everyone. Good night to you as well, Adriana. And thank you for joining us. And I hope you enjoyed our conversation. Didn't have hardly any basements either, but I guess because of the rocky earth, I hope your inner closet is strong. Inner closet, that's a neat, sounds like a progressive term. Like, we don't have a basement. We have an inner closet. It's like, I was watching House Hunters like a couple years ago, and somebody said, I think it was called an ADU, alternative dwelling unit. And it was like, the word was over, like if, sometimes people play drinking games when you hear something, if you had played a drinking game with ADU, you would have been blitzed by the end of the show. This guy was fixated with whatever an ADU was. Essentially, an ADU is an external shack that you could do whatever you want. Maybe have an art studio or something. So he was really fixated on this. They'd be like, house number 1. He's like, does it have an ADU? And the realtor would be like, well, it doesn't have an ADU, but we've got this great space down in the basement. Nope, it's not an ADU. I want an ADU. And it would be nice if there was an ADU. And I'm like, what in the world is with this guy? First of all, I've never heard of ADU before. And second, what is an ADU? So anyway, alternative dwelling unit. So I think I saw this little shack once driving around town. My wife had watched that with me. I'm like, look, it's an ADU. If you have an ADU, let me know. We are out of toilet paper again in this area, like many other areas. Yeah, that stinks. Like, pun intended, that stinks. Same here with the toilet paper. We haven't been too bad. Like, we aren't unreasonable with toilet paper use. So like even with a large family, it goes a long way. They're hoarding it here again. The Instacart lady sent me a picture of the wiped out toilet paper aisle. That's nuts. No toilet paper or paper towels. Well, if I guess that's the bright side. If somebody, they'll have something to wipe their bum with. I always enjoy the company. You're welcome. Thank you so much. And nice having you here. ADU, never heard of that. Yes, I had not heard of that either. So alternative dwelling unit. All right, back to the news after my tangent. Oh, you might find, especially I was thinking about Smoky Mountain Hiker on this one. Hikers set a speed record on the Smokies Trail. Check this out. Consider these numbers from the article. This was from mountainx.com. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Yes, this is the one everybody goes to outside of, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area, and all throughout North Carolina and Tennessee, excuse me. Great Smoky Mountains National Park contains about 803 miles of official hiking trails. According to the Smoky Mountains National Park 900 Miler Club, just 675 people have hiked every inch of them. Smoky Mountain Hiker, I'm sure you've heard about this. Are you on that list? And as of October 3rd, only 2 people can claim to have accomplished that feat in less than a month. Nancy Mercury East, a retired veterinarian from Waynesville, and her hiking partner, Air Force veteran Chris Ford of Knoxville, Tennessee, set a new record for hiking all of the park's trails with a time of 29 days, 10 hours, and 12 minutes. The two shattered the previous fastest-known time of 33 days set by Knoxville trail runner Jeff Woody, who had just completed his own attempt in late August. On a typical day, Ford and East would wake up at 4 a.m. and leave for the park an hour later, with the goal of being on the trail by 6 a.m. Ford, whose trail name is Pacer, led the pair. They averaged 2.5 miles an hour, kept their heart rate at a comfortable level, and made sure not to overheat. They ate high-caloric foods like nut berries and dried fruit on the move, only stopping for comfort breaks to fill up in water bottles and greet well-wishers who recognize them on the trail. Is that not incredible? 803 miles, right? And these people did it. Just under 1,000 people have done. I'm actually surprised that many people. I don't know if I should be surprised or not. That's a lot of people, it seems like to me. That is pretty amazing. The article went on to talk about it. I didn't have the notes here, but there was some nuance at the end where some road was closed, I think because of bears or something, that held them up, and they were kind of holding their breath that they weren't going to get the record on time, but everything ended up working out. So yeah, that's super cool. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to catch. Good night. Going see another live video. Well, enjoy, and wherever you're heading off to, tell everybody we said hello. And we got somebody, Camping Therapy came in here. I love the avatar there. That's really cool. It looks like hand drawn and with the little YouTube. That's really awesome right there by the water. Hello, Mr. Mattman, everyone in the chat. Hello to you as well, and hope you have a great start to week. Maybe you caught that story there. I hate that they've ruined that tunnel with graffiti. Yes, well, Foxy Wolf knows me well, having been here on most of the live streams. I have gotten up on my soapbox before. I think it's absolutely absurd, and I'm not being an old curmudgeon. It's just stupid silly that people do that kind of junk. Like when I was going up there doing those motorcycle rides and people were stealing the signs on the Blue Ridge Parkway. I mean, come on. And then like people going into those cabins, carving their name or taking a Sharpie, like, are you really like, you're going to look at your friend or your spouse or whatever and be like, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It says, I love you. I carved our names in the cabin. Like, it's just awful. And I know I'm being rude, but they're being rude and they're defacing history. I just think there's no thought inside of it. And I think it's ridiculous. And so it is a shame. I don't think they were posing in front of that tunnel to highlight any of that. In fact, I don't even know where that tunnel is. Maybe one of you guys know. Let me know. People from Knoxville are fast. That's right, Chris. It's Chris from Knoxville. Chris Ford, aka Chris about t-shirts. Is that you, Chris? No. So that's the gentleman's name. It says Chris Ford of Knoxville, Tennessee. So that's pretty awesome. Smoky Mountain Hiker says, I'm in no rush. I like to enjoy the trail, not run through it. Yes, and obviously these people are trying to set a record. It's like a means to an end to get through it and set a number. So, but nonetheless, that is pretty impressive stuff. Let's see here. Does everyone have snow? I'm in Central PA, just rain here. Hey, are you a Steelers fan? I'm a huge Steelers fan. If you're not, or you don't like football, don't worry about it. I just wondered. And actually, a lot of my family, extended family from Altoona, Pennsylvania. I don't know if that's more like East Central Pennsylvania. I agree, Smoky Mountain Hiker. They have to go back and see what they missed. That's right. I'm sure they must have been exhausted. Like, the human body to go through that kind of hiking is crazy. It must have just been like a blur. Oh yeah, there was an area of Roaring Fork Trail closed off due to aggressive bears. And maybe that's what I'd have to go back to the article and look. The link is right there on the screen if you all want to pull it up. Not in South Georgia, camping therapy. Yeah, as far as the snow goes. Hand drawn on a computer at 2:30 a.m. That's awesome. It looks really cool. It's unique. That's why I like it. Let's see. Snow in North Central Ohio. Hey, we got all about the Smokies here. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man and friends. And hello to you, Bob and family, if they're in the background. All About the Smokies has a terrific channel. If you are in, again, to East Tennessee, events and happenings and places, check out All About the Smokies. I have noticed your channel has been taking off and doing some great work over there. Let's see. Yep, great videos you've been putting up there. The Road to Nowhere, Mr. Mountain Man. Is that what it's called officially? The Road to Nowhere? What is that above that? Is that 441 or, and also, is this the one that Will and Don went to that was like the secret tunnel on the Blue Ridge Park, or not the Blue Ridge Parkway, up in Tennessee? If that's Tennessee, someone, I'm not as familiar with that area. Your sound effects tonight have been fun, right? I know, like I made the noise of the carving knife. I don't know if I made the fart noise when I was making fun of my picture. Yeah, I don't know. The microphone brings in all the extras. You get a show when you come and join tonight. Everyone knows how speedy I am. I know. And I kept the thumbnail. Well, the thumbnail's small on my screen. So that you never know. That could be Chris there. Is that the tunnel by that area that scares Don from Yankee in the South? Yeah. And again, I do not know. Okay, Chris. I will race you to Mount LeConte. We'll see. Now, Smoky Mountain Hiker. It is never going to happen like in the short term, but I'm telling you, someday I would enjoy hiking up to Mount LeConte, to the summit, and going to that restaurant and lodge there. I know you've done it and posted some pictures, which I think were super cool. But that would be something that I would enjoy doing, but I just don't know. It might be 10 years from now, but anyway. Everyone knows the Eagles are Pennsylvania's team. The Eagles, come on. We actually beat the Eagles this year. Yeah, I think a lot of people beat the Eagles. The NFC East is absolutely terrible. But don't watch any sports. Sorry, never was interested unless my kids were playing on the team. Yep, no problem. Just had to ask. Just to see. Didn't want to. Some people will see me with my hat and they'll be like, "Hey, I love your hat," because I always wear the Steelers hat. Sounds exciting. Yes. Gonna have a race between the two. I have stickers with that on it. It's my channel logo. Oh, cool. So was that the intent at 2:30 in the morning, was to come up with something permanent, or it's something that you did kind of just off the cuff and then it became permanent because it was kind of unique? We could race to the top of Cleveland's Dome. I do not stop at every bench. Oh, I do stop at every bench. Okay. It's near Bryson City, Mr. Mountain Man. Well, I was just over that way when I went over to the border for the Tail of the Dragon. Stopped in Bryson City at Burger King. Got a triple Whopper with cheese. I probably told you guys on that live stream. I went to Burger King. I took a day off and I wanted to do something nice. That was a nice day. And whatever their Tail of the Dragon. I ate lunch at Burger King and I treated myself to a big, huge burger. And I was like, "Oh, do you have any napkins?" They're like, "We don't have any napkins." You don't have any napkin? I was like, "Oh, okay." Oh my goodness. You eat a burger that big and greasy and sloppy? I'm not going to the bathroom and pulling toilet paper out of the stall. for, using for my wipe my mouth Burger King. So pardon me. I think I had a couple of napkins in the saddlebag, but I didn't feel like going out to the motorcycle and coming back in. I was eating by myself. So I think I just ate through it. I think I used the paper bag. I used the paper bag to like wipe my hands and stuff. And then when I went out, I had some hand sanitizer and napkins. Kind of crazy. Turkey will do that to you, Mr. Mountain Man Mom. Did I miss something from Mr. Mountain Man Mom? What'd she say? Oh, your sound effects. But yeah, that's what's happening. Let's see here. I'd love to go hike that one day as well. Such an awesome goal. Right. And you probably get some cool stickers up there. I'm only an hour from Philly. Okay, cool. I was playing because I couldn't sleep. I posted on Facebook as a joke and everyone said, keep it. Yeah. It's cool. It is cool. Wasn't the Eagles fans that attacked Santa with snowballs? Probably. I've heard those fans are ruthless. Like that's one of the roughest stadiums to go into as a visiting fan. Chris, you grew up in Tennessee. Are you an Eagles fan, or are you just pushing buttons and pulling my chain there with the Eagles? I can't remember. I mean, I would figure. Well, I mean, Tennessee didn't have the Titans till that was an expansion team. So I don't know what your favorite team is, unless you told me that. Heading off. Have a great weekend, everyone. Good night. Thank you, Faye. It was always great seeing you, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. The lodge at Mount LeConte is closed for the season now. Okay, yeah, they always do that. It's just like Mount Pisgah. There's a beautiful lodge up at Mount Pisgah that overlooks, and it's closed in the winter as well. Let me get to the next article. Where you can eat for food and dine and take out Christmas Day in Asheville 2020. So I only pulled out a few of the cool ones here. One that I would love to do a video from, went there last Christmas for a holiday dinner. Brasilia Churrasco Steakhouse. It's a Brazilian steakhouse. I love them. First Brazilian steakhouse I ever went to was in Dallas, Texas, called Fogo de Chão. And you talk about somebody who likes buffets, combine that with mostly high quality meat and upscale, cold bar of salad and smoked salmon and stuff like that. I mean, it's just like hands down. Like if I had my druthers of places to go, it would be a Brazilian steakhouse. I absolutely love them. So they're open on Christmas Day. All you can eat Brazilian steakhouse with salad bar and a grilled meat slice tableside. Reservations. Dragon China is open. The family-owned Chinese restaurant serves affordable Asian fare from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Of course, the Christmas favorite, the Christmas Story. They end up at the end of the movie because the turkey the table's legs get cut out from underneath because the dogs are going wild, running through the house. Turkey falls on the floor and they have to eat Chinese, and they can go get the goose or the duck, and they cut the head off at the table. Classic, famous scene. The picture there, I just was going to mention because I had the picture, was Red Stag Grill at the Grand Bohemian Hotel. And then lastly, so you got kind of these, a few kind of, upscale type restaurants. Well, we got to throw in the Waffle House, because the Waffle House is open 24/365 and includes Christmas. Everybody loves the Waffle House. Who doesn't love smothered, covered, scattered, hash browns, burgers? I first I'd seen Waffle House my whole life. We didn't really go to them a lot growing up, but around my senior year in high school, they built one near us off the interstate. And I went and I'm like, where in the world has this place been? I used to go there all the time. And then I just kind of quit because it's not good for you. So I go there every once in a while, and haven't been in a while. But the old Waffle House, like that. I remember Jeff Foxworthy. I have an old CD. It's probably like 20 years old. Like, you might be a redneck if, and it was like one of his things was like, you might be a redneck if you have a Waffle House credit card. So anyway, it's kind of funny. All right. So here's the 7-day Asheville, Western North Carolina forecast. If you've been taking a tally week to week, check out those lows. That's what I usually look at: 25, 21, 26. 34, 30, 28, 28. And hence why I needed to wrap up my painting work at the house, because that's too cold to have that paint cure. It's supposed to be above 32 degrees. And there you have it, folks. And I left that comment up there. I am sorry. I do that when I switch between screens and then it blocks what is there. So goodness gracious, you guys didn't even get to see. All right. So that was the 7-day Asheville forecast. And the one before it was where you can get good food for dine in and take out Christmas Day in Asheville 2020. That was an article from the Asheville Citizen Times. My apologies. They should have a feature here where like the comment like fades out like after like 3 minutes if I don't remove it. So anyway, cool. All right, back at it to wrap up the old live stream. By the way, I want to thank a few folks that for stopping by and saying hello. I'm not wrapping up quite yet, but I just want to. I saw Will and Dawn in here early. I don't know how long they stayed. I see Chris. I hadn't seen you in a while. I had seen you over at your live streams a few times and your videos. Just I always enjoy it when and then we've got some new folks here, Camping Therapy, and Bob visited us tonight, and then of course we got all the regulars here. So it's just really nice to have you folks stop by and say hello, and I hope you're enjoying. You are always welcome here anytime. Let me see what is a button pusher. Yes, is a button pusher. I didn't catch. I live with my dad for about 6 months, an hour north of Philly, but I'm mostly pushing buttons. Right. So an hour north of Philly, Eastern Pennsylvania, I've been over like Scranton, Wilkesboro area, but that's more than an hour. Like Allentown, isn't that like an hour north or something? Anyway, I'm not as familiar with East Pennsylvania. Although Rocky was over there, Rocky Balboa, right? Did you ever see Rocky? He lived up around Philly. Yeah. Yep. I'm a lifelong Denver Broncos fan for real. That's right. You did mention that to me. Is that because the Broncos were good in the 80s with Elway and such making it to the Super Bowl? They weren't winning the Super Bowl, I don't believe. I think they got beat by the Giants and San Francisco, maybe, if memory serves me well, but that's been a while. Most folks push brooms. Chris pushes buttons. That is true. Oh, I've never heard of a Brazilian steakhouse. I've been to Western Sizzlin' in Spruce Pine. That Western Sizzlin'. So Camping Therapy, I have another channel called The Eclectic Handyman. And I love adding to my new older stock and my Craftsman made in the USA tools that are no longer made, and I acquire them. But there's some tools that Sears still sells, even though they're not made in the USA, that the old Craftsman Professional line that I like. Anyway, there was a bench grinder that I wanted to get, and I still haven't made the video of it. I ordered online, and I picked it up at the Spruce Pine Sears hometown store, which was awesome, which is right behind the Western Sizzlin'. And the day we went by there, which was on the weekend, which is also the day I made the video for this channel called Visiting Little Switzerland, North Carolina, which happens to be one of the more popular videos. It's a really cool, quaint area up there. But I have been in your neck of the woods that one time. We didn't eat at Western Sizzlin'. I think my wife went in there to the bathroom and said, kids go to the bathroom at another place. I don't think it was the best day that day. It was really crowded. But yeah, I thought about eating there. Meet me at the Waffle House. That's right. Do you remember, was that the song in the jukebox? Maybe you think I'm crazy. There was a song in the jukebox about the Waffle House, and you could play the jukebox back then for free, and it was like a kind of a cheesy song. That's what it made me think of. But if you're like, what are you talking about? There was a song about the Waffle House in the Waffle House jukebox. Yeah, it is much cheaper and good sweet tea. If you ever wanted to treat yourself, though, to a Brazilian steakhouse, I mean, it is incredible because you're getting filet and pork and ribeye and strip and exquisite like cheeses. I'm not talking about exquisite like so foo-foo you don't want to eat it. I'm talking about like you could fill up. I mean, the rolls they put on your table, they have like perfectly engineered them to taste like the most mouth-watering thing in the world so that you fill up on these tiny bread rolls so that you don't eat the expensive meat. So I always have to push them away and stay away because I could seriously pop those things in. It's a nice treat if you ever get a chance. A Yankee that likes sweet tea, I'm sorry, I only drink unsweet tea and black coffee. Yeah, I typically drink unsweet tea with stevia in it. His Yankee loves sweet tea. It's all I drink when we go south. They don't make it right around here. I lived in North Carolina for 12 years. I had a shirt that said, I wasn't born in the South, but I got here as fast as I could. The brand was sweet tea. That is cool. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and worked right beside in Allentown. Yes. That area. Yeah. Now I know the city area that you are talking about, Chris. Maybe I haven't had a good week in yet, Larry. Never had any in the South. The Browns sure didn't stop them. Yeah. If you're talking about the Steelers, that's right. But when I was growing up, as I always said, the Browns always had our numbers. So I never, ever gets old of the Steelers winning. I bought sweet tea at Mickey D's by the gallon. They don't sell gallons in Pennsylvania. I have to buy it at Chick-fil-A. It's all I drink. Oh, wow. Smoky Mountain Anchor says, have a good night and a great week. Yeah, I'll be wrapping it up here in about 1 minute. Allentown sounds like a song in the making. Yeah, there's a nod to Billy Joel right there. Let me see what else. Oh, I'm a little bit behind here. I lived in Burnsville. That Western Sizzlin' wasn't as nice, and it's been turned down. Spruce Pine Steakhouse is good. Yeah, so Burnsville's another one. Now, Burnsville also typically, I like to ride the motorcycle through there when I'm going up that way, coming back from like Mount Mitchell. They are cooler than Asheville because they're a little higher in elevation. Every night when I watch the news, it was always a few degrees colder than Asheville. Foxy Wolf says, that was the Waffle House song. Good, then my memory served me right. And that was been a long time since I heard that song. By the way, I was driving by in Asheville recently. There's a Ryan's, and that Ryan's I think might have closed. I think it was open after the pandemic, but I'm not sure if they got enough business. Ryan's near me. Let me see. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is still, maybe the ones in Asheville still are open. But yeah, it looked closed the other night. Yes, that was the song. Waffle House, meet me at the Waffle House. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner too. There's one near you. It was like a lady singing, right? It was kind of cheesy. I'm sure we could look it up on YouTube. That's awesome. Thank you for jogging my memory on that. No sweet tea. I like it strong also. Yes, the extra caffeine. We're talking about the Broncos on the way to the Super Bowl, but yeah, Steelers too. That's right. Well, I always like a good talk about the football. Nice live stream tonight, as always. Thank you, Rita. That's very kind of you. Always great conversations, says on Monday nights. Ryan's is expensive. I'm not sure. I mean, it's comparable to Golden Corral, give or take $1 or so. But it's not quite as extensive of a buffet. Most Ryan's have closed down even before the pandemic. That is a true statement. We just like the change up once in a while to go to Ryan's. Yeah, we haven't been to a buffet in quite some time. Yes, entertaining as usual. Please remember to hit the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Some of Ryan's up here have closed down long before the COVID. Yeah. When I moved here, there was an area of Asheville that had a Kmart next to a Ryan's. Talk about a blast from the past. And I'm super old school like that. We would go eat at Ryan's and then walk over to Kmart and do shopping. I was so sad when Kmart closed down. I didn't care what the store looked like. You do not need to razzle dazzle me with it doesn't need to look like Target or whatever. I loved it. I was sad when it closed. And I just hoped the Ryans would make it. So otherwise that's going to turn into a big vacant area over there by the outlet mall. All right, you all, I'm at $1:33 on the time. Probably got to get heading out here in a second. Let's see. I haven't eaten inside a restaurant since the virus started. Yeah, camping therapy. Haven't been big on it here either. I did. There have been a couple of times solo that, like I talked about the Burger King and a couple other times, just been steering clear in general of that for now. But looking forward to it, doing it more there. And yep. Good night, all. Have a wonderful week and stay safe. There's still a Kmart over 15 minutes from me. That's cool. I grew up with Kmart. And I still have a soft spot in my heart for it and Sears. Good night, everyone, says Chris. Thank you, Chris, for stopping by. It's really nice having you here tonight. Always nice to have you around. And again, I hope you're doing really well. Tell Mindy we said hello. Would be fun to take a group up to Mount LeConte sometime. Not sure how big or small a group you should consider. Yeah. Smoky Mountain Hiker had left, but he is the resident expert in that area. So definitely try to coordinate that with him. That could be a pretty cool get together. Good night, Mr. Mountain and all. Enjoy the week ahead and be well. Everyone, please have a wonderful week and stay safe. Fools are out in force these days. Reminds me of what my grandmother used to say. Watch out for the crazies. She meant when I would drive to go see her. Good night, everyone. Nice to meet you all. You as well, Camping Therapy. I hope all of you have a wonderful week. Again, belated happy Thanksgiving to you all. I hope you had a wonderful, kind of quiet, mellow, enjoyable time. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy all the days, of this season, even though 2020 has been a little bit out of the normal. Enjoy it. Spend time with the family. Watch some silly Hallmark movies or, something fun to do. And we will reconvene here next Monday, and I will get back to posting on Twitter. It's also a good place in case something doesn't happen if I'm not able to make the live stream. Good night, everyone. Have a good week and stay safe. Good night. Thanks for the live stream. You bet. Enjoyed having you, and you all have a wonderful week. Until next Monday, Mr. Mountain Man here signing off. Everyone have a good night. We'll see you later.